Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and you're watching Booktober, where I post one video every single day for the month of October, unless it's a live sprint day. That counts also as a video, to lighten my load a little bit. But hello, how are we doing today? Welcome to my living room, where we are in front of my nice dark shelves. We don't get to hang out here as often, but I love these shelves. This is where I spend most of my life, is on my couch. But today, I thought I would bring you out of the office, out of our little book cave, and talk about some of my favorite authors as well as my auto-buy authors. Easy. That was a lot easier for me to compile a list of, it looks like I got 6 piles compared to, oh boy, favorite authors. Now, I don't know necessarily why. I want to say maybe it was Kayla who started this. If not, maybe it was Megan or somebody, I don't know who. But somebody has decided amongst the booktube community that favorite authors are often authors that you've given out 3 5 stars to. Whether it be across the board and that, or maybe a series count. I don't know what the qualifications really are. And to other people, I think favorite author is just somebody reliable, somebody that you can always turn to. And so I think that the distinction between favorite authors and auto-buy authors are relatively similar. Of course, I struggle with the favorite author question because although I have quite a few, a lot of favorite authors I think I have after reading one book that's 5 stars, and I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's the peak of literature. I've never read anything better. And then I read something else from them, a different series or a different book in a different genre, and I end up disappointed. TJ Klune is a big example of this. I really enjoyed The House in the Cerulean Sea when I read it back in 2021 when I started my channel, and I thought it was such a fun, cozy little book. It was whimsical. I liked the characters and the found family of it all. And then I read more TJ Klune. I picked up Under the Whispering Door, and I really struggled with it. And then I picked up In the Lives of Puppets, and I really didn't like it. And so now I'm like, well, shit. Do I even like this author anymore? Like, is it a one-hit wonder? And I've been having that issue a whole lot lately, and it's really fun. It's really cool. So I thought I'd pull up my Goodreads, like, favorites authors list, or like favorite books, to see like what discourse I have about these authors. And of course, right off the bat, we have Helen Schuer, who wrote the Blood and Steel Legend of Thesmar series, which I love that series. I think that series across the board got 3 5 stars, and then the final book got 4 stars. Incredible series. I really loved it. I love the characters. I'm excited for the spin-off, but I've read nothing else from this author. I don't even know if she has anything else. And can I necessarily count a series to make them a favorite author when I've only read like that one series? Like, do I need a taste test across different series to consider them a favorite author? I just don't know. I don't know my own qualifications, and I think I need to sit with that and figure it out for myself. Because what to me is a favorite author? Just somebody I can rely on? Well, I can rely on her for the series, but I don't know about the other series. Another favorite of mine was a J. Bree book, Crown of Oath and Curses, and I hated the sequel. So now I'm gonna read the Bonded series. I don't remember what the first book's called. I'm not gonna pretend I know, but I'm interested in reading more of J. Bree. But because the sequel was such a letdown, I'm nervous now that nothing will ever be good again. So I can't qualify a favorite author whom I loved the first book, but the sequel to that book was just bad. So rough. Debut authors such as Sarah Hashem, author of The Jihad Heir. I love that book. It's such a good book. I highly recommend it to anyone who likes fantasy, or even, like, honestly, if you're into romantasy and you want to read a little bit younger works still, like if you still like YA, but you also like YA romantasy, oh, is this the book for you? It's so fucking good. It's so good. Highly, highly recommend The Jihad Heir. The sequel has been announced, everybody. But again, a debut author. So I can't classify her as a favorite yet because there's nothing else to compare it to. I don't know if I'm gonna like the sequel. I don't know if I would like their other works in a different world. So a lot of those kind of stand like one-off authors. Rebecca Yarros, A Good Time, bad book. 5-star favorite, but not a good book. The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, haven't read anything else from him. Rory Power, Wilder Girls, haven't read anything else from them, even though I have one of their books on my shelf, but I don't think to pick them up. Keelan Patrick Burke is maybe not like a favorite author. Like, when I pick up their books, I know I'm gonna have a good time. I think I've given them all above 3 stars, but I've only loved one. The other ones I've liked, but I haven't loved the other one, so it's like, I don't think they can be favorite authors because they're not quite yet favorites. So yeah, just things like that. A lot of them are the same thing. Last Tale of the Flower Bride. Haven't read anything else from Roshni Chokshi yet. No, I think I maybe read one more. Yeah, I think I read one other from Roshni Chokshi, and I didn't like it as much. It was like a 3-star mid. Erin Morgenstern, The Night Circus right there. I love The Night Circus. It's one of my favorite books, but The Starless Sea had a really hard time getting into it and enjoying that one, so I can't count it. The Death of Jane Lawrence is one of my favorite books of all time. This has become a completely different video now. I will get off this tangent soon. Caitlin Starling. I did get approved for the arc of her new book that comes out in May, and I'm so excited. This will be my last shot for this author, though, because I've not liked anything else that I've read from them. It's getting crucial now. Like, we're getting to the point where, like, I'm testing my favorite authors, and that's scary to me. Out of the remaining 3 authors that I want to talk about, this brings us to my autobuy authors. Autobuy authors, for me, are authors that I can guarantee a good time from. It might not be a 5-star read. The first one that I'll talk about, not 5 stars, but always a good time. I actually also not read one, though, so this is tough. Rachel Griffin. Love The Nature of Witches. I really enjoyed The Nature of Witches, which made me pre-order Wild is the Witch, and I loved so much that I did all of the pre-order campaign stuff. I ordered from a little indie bookstore so that... I forgot I did this. Oh, no. So I pre-ordered this from a little indie bookstore so that I could get it signed, and it says, for Sam, hope you have a hoot of a time reading. I will always love you, Rachel Griffin. And that's my crime to myself. That's so funny that I did that. So sometimes I make silly decisions where I pre-order books and have them signed for me, and I make owl puns because there's an owl in the book. So yeah, anyway, I read this. I really enjoyed this. It was a good time. This and The Nature of Witches, I enjoyed them both. I would say they're closer to like 4.5 stars, not quite perfect stars, but I did also, of course, pre-order Bring Me Your Horizon when this one came out, because it's a stunning book, truly. I haven't read this. So, an autobuy author, an author whom I've wanted to read this for so long from, and just for whatever reason I haven't picked it up. I've put it on many TBRs. I've attempted to tell myself that I'm going to read it multiple times, and then it just gets backburned. So it's like an autobuy author. I'll keep pre-ordering her books, because also like the FOMO of pre-orders is just getting out of hand, but always will pre-order Rachel Griffin. Always have a good time. I love the witchy, bisexual, Pacific Northwest vibes. It's a good fun time for me. I can rely on it. So Rachel Griffin is one of my first autobuy authors. Of course, another important autobuy author in my career is Adrienne Young. Oh, I love Adrienne Young's work so much. There's very few authors whom I follow on Instagram and like want to have a closer eye on. Adrienne Young is one. This isn't even all the books that I own. Simply just didn't want to grab them all. But I did a dedicated reading vlog to Adrienne Young, reading the Girl the Sea Gave Back series book, Sky of the Deep, and the, of course, Fabled and Namesake books. I've not read Saint yet, but I did pre-order it almost immediately because I actually do love the series, and I'm very excited to eventually jump into this. For whatever reason, I just haven't. But I might not have just had the urge because it's like a prequel. It's about her dad, and so it's not quite the same. But then I, of course, also have pre-ordered her adult debut. Guess what? I haven't read this. And in a book subscription box, I wasn't going to order this, but I got The Unmaking of June Farrow, and everyone that I likes this, so I definitely want to pick it up soon. And so now it's like, okay, I have to do a part 2 to my Adrienne Young vlog, because I still really enjoy her books. I don't know why I get nervous picking up a young adult's books when they dabble into the adult. I don't know what it is about it, but it's one of those things, like, I can't stop buying these books. I always end up with them. I'm always going to keep my eye on everything that comes out. Another hilariously autobuy author, which is maybe the most unexpected, but also mainstream, like, culturally wise in the book community, probably makes the most sense to people. I was given Babel from Illumicrate when this came out, and I gave it a read, and I enjoyed it, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm so happy to have liked this book. So I, of course, had to purchase Yellowface the second this came out, and this was also a 4-star book, and I really enjoyed it. I think that R.F. Kuang, she's an incredible author. I'm so excited for her next book. There's been talk of it on some like press tour stuff, and I'm just so very excited for everything that comes out. And then I have incredible people in my life who've gifted me, you can barely tell, but like right there's another set. But I've been gifted the Poppy Wars. So I haven't read these. Why? I think that I'm going to love them. I think it's going to be an incredible time. I think that R.F. Kuang can't do wrong. Truly, I think there's a reason that she is a powerhouse and on top of the publishing industry right now, just like why everybody is obsessed with Rebecca. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I haven't gotten to the series yet. It's a high priority at this point. Like, why haven't I done this? Why am I doing this to myself? Why sit on these books? But now there's talks of R.F. Kuang's 2025 release, hopefully not 26, hopefully 2025 release. You know already I'm going to be pre-ordering that. Maybe before I even read the series. Like, it's just, she's an autobuy author. I just know it's going to be good. Wonderful literature, wonderful work, and I'm so excited. But definitely an autobuy author, even if I've never given a 5-star to Rebecca yet. Just 4 stars, but like a good time, such a good time. Ugh. And this next author that I'm going to talk about, I'm so happy I finally got my very first special edition set of the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. If you know anything about me or have been watching my channel lately, this has been kind of a crucial part of my life lately, but I absolutely love the Caraval book. This is one of my favorite books. God, she's so pretty. If you're curious, these are the UK special editions. There's 4 secret hidden covers. What a time to be alive. Yes, this was my gift to myself because I love this series. I love this book. This is one of my favorite books of all time. If you're curious, I did like a deep dive where I also talk about like why I love this book so much. So that's there for you. But right here, this is where the stack of Caraval series goes, and then right next to it is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which I have. I think it's a Barnes & Noble edition, a Fairy Loot special edition, and then like just a regular edition. Because I have to buy them. I haven't read them. I haven't even read Finale yet. I'm bad at finishing series. I don't know what to say. But I consider Stephanie Garber a favorite author. I love her writing style. I love this world. I love her characters. For the most part, they're kind of annoying, but I still like them a lot. But mostly the world building and the whimsical writing and lyrical purple prose. I just love it so much. So I consider Stephanie Garber a favorite author. I've auto-bought every book. I will continue buying every book until she's done me so dirty and wrong. I just am a big fan. I hope that more stuff comes out. I don't know if this is ending in a trilogy. Somebody tell me down below. I would love to know. But one of those books that is like your favorite author, even though you might not meet the criteria traditionally. Legendary, which is the sequel to Caraval, following Donatella Scarlett's sister. This is a 4-star. It wasn't even like a 5-star perfect book, but for whatever reason, nostalgia has a hold on me, and I consider this to be a favorite author. But also an autobuy author. But like, I've only read 2, and only one of them's 5 stars. I don't make sense to myself. I don't know what the criteria is. It's wild. This is what I would consider a true autobuy author. And not necessarily a favorite, but it started with A Dowry of Blood, which I purchased, of course, the traditionally published. Oh my god, I'm so mad that I don't have the indie special, like, self-published version of A Dowry of Blood. It is the one thing that keeps me up at night. It hurts my soul so deeply, so if anyone's ever getting rid of it, let me know. But I do also have Fairy Loot? Yeah, Fairy Loot special edition of A Dowry of Blood. Big fan, big fun. I love this book so deeply. It's one of my favorites of all time, and I really like S.T. Gibson's writing. Now, that said, controversial to many people. I think I just bought this with my own hard-earned cash, but I also read the arc from NetGalley for this, which is Education of Malice. This is a young adult version of A Dowry of Blood, sort of. They're set in the same world, vampires exist, but this is the young adult following 2 girls in a dark academia setting with a vampiric twist, a really poorly done murder mystery, like all like all dark academia have. I wouldn't say this is like fully baked. I still gave it 4 stars. The atmosphere, the setting, the vibe is so perfect. Like, I want to say this is set in like the 80s or maybe the 60s. I don't fully remember, but like the crisp autumn air setting, the September breeze is incredible in this book. And so I still gave this 4 stars. I still purchased it immediately as soon as I was able to. I don't think I pre-ordered it, but I think I ordered it rather quickly. But then I did order and then got lucky. Kind of. I did order Evocation by S.T. Gibson. I have not read this yet. I keep putting it on my TBRs. I keep saying I'm going to read it, and then I haven't gotten around to it yet. But I did order the Aardvark edition just so I could have it, because, again, I love S.T. Gibson. I've not had a bad time with her books. I've enjoyed everything that I've read. And then I, of course, opened 2 special editions. One from Fairy Loot and one from, I want to say, Owl Crate. very different vibes, very pretty vibes, and I'm happy to have these. I need to read this book so very bad. But yeah, S.T. Gibson is absolutely, hands down, an autobuy author for me, even if they're not perfect books. I'm a little bit worried about this one just because a lot of people haven't been enjoying it, but overall, I really love her writing. I think that I'm still going to enjoy these. I think my expectations are tame and prepared for what is to come in them, but oh my god. Hands down, an author that I will continue to be picking up from until the day that I no longer like her stuff. And even her older stuff, like Robber Girl, I still had a fine time with it, even if it wasn't like a favorite. But anything new that she comes out with, I'm guaranteed to order. Lastly, we of course have to talk about my favorite author, maybe of all time. Is that so bold of me to say? I do think it's true, though. I do think I would have to say that Erin A. Craig is my favorite author, as well as my autobuy author. Because when I tell you this is the very first book that I pre-ordered for 2024, I'm not lying. I ordered this as fast as I found out about it. I ordered from an indie bookshop, just a small little cute place. Oh, it's so nice. It's signed, it's got a little candle, and I'm very excited about this. Have I read it yet? Mind your business. But I already know it's going to be 5 stars. Why do I say that? Because I read A House of Flaw and Sorrow. I kind of picked this up on a whim. I ordered it back when I started my channel for Buzzwordathon, and I decided to pick it up. And I fell in love with the atmosphere, the setting, the characters, everything about it. It's a fairy tale retelling, but it's got this coastal horror vibe. This is what really introduced me into loving fantasy horror, as well as just the horror genre in general. This I owe so much to. And so from there, I of course pre-ordered Small Favors, which is a village horror. Oh, it's so good. And I also gave this 5 stars. And then House of Roots and Ruin came out. And I got the Barnes & Noble edition, as well as just like the normal standard first print edition. And I've never made better decisions for myself. I am thriving in this economy of special editions because it truly is my soul-sucking purpose in life. But it's truly just one of those moments in my time where I really like this author's writing, the world building, the horror elements, the fantasy elements, like everything in these books just so does it for me. Erin A. Craig is never amiss, is an author that I can arguably always rely on and always have a good time with, and I'm so excited soon hopefully pick up The 13th Child, which is the most recent publishing. I know that Erin A. Craig will be coming back with another book in 2025, and will be continuing the House of Salt and Sorrow's Sisters series in 2026, and I'm just like, I'm a big fan. I love and adore these books. Everything about their writing is just perfection to me, and I've never had a bad time. They're all 5 stars. I'm happy to have Erin A. Craig in my life. Wonderful. So yes, those are all of my autobuy authors. I'd say ML Rio, probably also an autobuy author, but only has like 1 book and a novella out, but I own both. Bought them immediately. So I guess that also says a lot about me. I truly love and adore ML Rio, so I should have included her on this list. And I'm sorry that I didn't think of her until just now. But yeah, I think those are for sure my autobuy authors, as well as some favorite authors. It's very hard for me to like determine who is a favorite because so many favorites let me down. But Erin A. Craig will never let me down. I will never have a bad time. I will never be disappointed. Watch me hate this book. No, it's not gonna happen. I'm not jinxing myself. I'm going to love it. I will love it. That is all I have to say on that, okay? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good. So, I look forward to reading this very soon. But, with all of that said, I think that's gonna be this whole video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit more about me. You get to see a little bit of my thought process of behind... What? What was I saying? I hope that you got to get to know me a little bit through the books that I like and the authors whom I love and adore. Even if their works aren't always perfection, they're still very good. And I just, I read for a good time, and if you can give me a 4-star good time every time, I'll keep reading you. But it also, sucks when an author really disappoints you and just like one of theirs just isn't good, and I'm so nervous about evocation for that reason. But I would love to know what some of your autobuy authors are down below in the comments, as well as just like any favorite author that you might have as well. Whatever suits your fancy, whatever you want to talk about with me down below. I don't say this very often, but if you like my video and you want to see more from me, or you want to watch more Booktober, you should subscribe and like the video because it helps with the algorithm and YouTube knowing that people care about my content. And I also recommend that you do it with other YouTubers and not just me. Subscribe to other people, like all of their videos, comment on them if you have things to say. If you don't have something to say, leave a candle emoji for the 13th child down below. I always forget to do this at the end of my videos. I said that I was going to start doing the emoji thing, and then I forget about the emoji thing. So leave a candle in the comments if you don't have something fun to say, but you want to support. Okay, I'm going to go. I always feel so weird being like, hey, subscribe to my channel, please. It makes me feel weird. But anyways, I appreciate you for watching this video and hanging out with me during Booktober, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my next video. Bye!